We'll roll.
We'll do that. We'll get going right now, actually. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Chatham Business Association's monthly membership meeting. I am Gwen Shaw, and as you've already heard, I'll be signing off a little early, but I wanted to get the meeting going and give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves, give you a quick opportunity to introduce yourselves, I should say, because we have a great meeting coming up with some wonderful guests, and we want to give them as much of the time as possible to give us that info. But first of all, just say thank you for all of you for being here. We're going to keep it moving and get going with the quick introductions. And I'm going to let you go first.
You see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Hi, I am Thyatira Towns. I'm with Chicago Public Schools as the Business Engagement Manager, and I am always excited to be here with Chatham. Thanks, Gwen.
Thank you. Ted?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ted Hollander. My business is Complus Incorporated. We are professional controllers. We lead accounting departments for small to medium-sized companies. We look for them when they're too big for the owner to run with just a checkbook and too small to hire a full-time CFO. The job is to enable a business owner to understand the business so he or she can run it without feeling blindfolded. Again, my name is Ted Hollander, and you always pay for good accounting one way or another.
Thank you, Ted. Sandy?
I'm Sandy Yano. My company is Sandy Yano and Associates. I do diversity and inclusion type consulting, and there's always something interesting going on with the CBA.
Thank you, Sandy. Good morning, Gloria. Introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Gloria Leggett. I am a local attorney, and I also work within the state arena. This is my first meeting, and I wanted to get into connection with the CBA. We'll be opening a business in the Chatham area very soon, and you'll be hearing more about it. So this is my first meeting. We're the newest members of the Chatham Business Association. So thank you.
Welcome, Gloria.
Thank you.
Lenora.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lenora Blackamore. I own Mecca Marketing Group. We are a web development and branding company, and we're inside of Chatham. I'm looking forward to this meeting because I have a lot of questions. But hello.
Thank you, Lenora. Hey, Kim.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kim New. I'm the community liaison for the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. Our unit partners with businesses, community residents, stakeholders, and law enforcement to reduce crime. And Gwen, I just want to say I miss our 60 seconds of just that moment of silence, but we're rushing today. I'll create that's okay.
You're right, Kim. I'm sorry. We'll do it after the introductions. How about that? Thank you for reminding me. Clarence? You're just gonna wave, Clarence? We'll come back to you. Chase Carthen.
Good morning, Chase Carson, Diversity Officer for the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. CBA is a sister agency of ours. We continuously advocate for minority, women, veterans, small business participation on our government contracts, and always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Chase. All right, Clarence, I see your mic is off.
Oh, good morning, Majestic Clarence Glover, Majestic Flores, 8145 South Cottage Grove Avenue. Flowers for all occasion, and I am a CBA member.
Thank you, Clarence. Frida Madison. Are you there, Frida? Okay, we'll come back to you. Mr. Millsap?
Yes, my name is Ron Millsap. I'm the Vice President and CRA Officer for a local community bank, Providence Bank and Trust. We're a little over 1.3 billion in assets. We're a stewardship bank, which means we donate 10% of our profits every year to nonprofits that we support in the local community. I support our small business, consumer lending, as well as investment areas, particularly in outreach to low to moderate income communities. And we've been a long-term member of CBA.
Thank you. Kashan?
Hi, good morning. My name is Kashan Collier Miles from Miles Development Incorporated. We're a woman, veteran, minority-owned general contracting firm located in Auburn, Gresham. Thank you for having us participate this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kashan. And there's a caller with the last 3 digits of 900. Did you want to identify yourself and introduce yourself to everyone? No? Frida, are you there? Okay, I'll introduce our board members. Elaine?
Good morning, everyone. Elaine Granger, AT&T External Affairs, board member and proud supporter of Chatham Business.
And newly married Carl Riley.
Hey guys, good morning. How y'all doing? I'm Carl Riley with Fifth Third Bank. I'm just getting back in. I'm dropping off my son, but yes, I support you guys with small business lending. I've been with the CBA about 3.5 years, and I do small business lending up to about $10 million revenues companies, helping them buy their real estate, their equipment, doing seminars in the community, talking about how to access capital. And I'm just here for you guys. So whatever you need, give me a call, text me. I'll leave my information in the group chat so you can reach out with any questions you have. If I can't do it, I'll refer you to somebody that can. So let me know.
And then as we have people coming in, I'll introduce myself. I'm Gwen Shaw. I am the owner of I almost said Chatham Business Association. No, don't own CBA. I own a Country Financial right in the heart of 87th Street. I've been in business now for almost 13 years, and I assist a lot of the CBA members with their insurance, with their business insurance, as well as protecting their families and providing investment and retirement planning. And I'm just pleased always to be a part of such a wonderful organization. I've been a member of the Chatham Business Association as long as I've had a business, if that means anything to you. So let's give a shout out to the staff as well. Jennifer, you want to say something? Just say hello.
I'm muted, Jen.
Trying to unmute myself. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Jennifer Atkins. I'm the Executive Director and Chief Business Officer with the Chatham Business Association. And I meet with people Tuesdays and Thursdays. I look forward to helping you if you have a goal or if you have a development need. Please give me a shout out and I'll set you up and we can meet either virtually or in person at the office. And yeah, here I am. Welcome.
Thanks, Jennifer. You look nice and cool. Got a fan or something going on over there.
Yeah, I got this little fan. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, we definitely can see that. Carlotta Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone knows who you are, but just in case.
Hi, everyone. I'm Assistant Executive Director, Chatham Business Association. Been with the organization since 2009, and I'm so glad that you guys joined us. And I hope the information helps your small business.
And in the background there, we have Charles Edwards, who keeps everything running technically smoothly, and we're just grateful to have him. Say hi, Charles.
Hello, everyone. Charles Edwards, IT Program Manager.
Thank you, Charles. And we save the best. No, I'm not going to say that. We save the wonderful Melinda Kelly. If you don't know her, you should know her. Okay, Melinda, if you can give a quick couple of seconds.
Sure. Hopefully, can you hear me now?
Can hear you well.
It's so good to see the faces in the box, but we are working diligently to get in person again. And so honored to have Anita here. So I'm not going to delay, and her team, introducing her, and then we'll talk more. And update you about what we're doing, working on behalf of our memberships at the end. I should mention, when we do the moment of silence, we have an employee who lost their son yesterday. So when we do our moment of silence for Miss Cynthia Love, we need to include her in our prayers.
Absolutely. She is definitely in our prayers, and all of us who have lost someone. I mean, this has been a rough last year and a half, and it just seems like when we were just starting to see the light of day, things are starting to get worse again. So I don't know when we'll all be able to get back together. You know, everyone has their personal choices. I just wish the choice was health, you know, and put that first. That's just my 2 cents. But we definitely need to take a moment of silence and to recognize not only the Cynthia who lost her son, but those of us that are still struggling with this pandemic. If we could just take a couple of minutes, couple of seconds. All righty, thank you. Thank you for that few moments. And thank you for those who have joined us late. We're gonna keep the meeting going. So thank you, put your information in chat room. I've seen some of you from TCA Health have already done so. Thank you and welcome to our meeting. We look forward to chatting a little bit afterwards. But right now, we have the minutes, right, Carlotta? We're just gonna take care of some quick business. I think we do have the minutes from last meeting. If you are a member and you did receive the minutes, we need to accept those as read, or if there are any corrections.
They're June minutes. I'm catching up.
Okay, because I wasn't there last month. So we have the June minutes that Carlotta has sent. I need a motion to accept the minutes as read or with any corrections, and then I need someone to second that motion.
I motion to accept the minutes as read.
And I second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
If you're opposed, say nay. There are no nays, so the minutes will be accepted as read with no corrections. And now to our guest. See how we keep this thing going? We just keep on moving. Let me get where I need to be. Bear with me, everyone. I had it. Okay, so once again, Carlotta and Melinda have put together, or the team have put together a great group of guests that are going to be providing us with how to win government contracts, successful strategies that work. And there's going to be 2 speakers today. First up, we have Miss Anita J. Ponder, who is a partner with OPWB. She's an attorney and partner with the director of Chicago Government Contracts Group at Quinteros, Prieto, Wood and Boyer. Did I say that correct?
Yes.
After more than 30 years of providing consultation, strategic guidance, training, and advocacy to government contractors and agencies. I see this is pretty long.
Yeah, you know, don't read all of that.
But Gwen, if you want me to, let me interject, because in addition to a professional friend, she's also a personal friend to the business community. I can't imagine, I'm trying to think of a place she hasn't worked. She's worked for government. She's worked on behalf of the businesses when we're working with government. She just is very committed to business development, but she's also very committed to the Black business community as well. She has donated her time, her and her team, pro bono, to, as we talked about, that DBE initiative, and we're working with the federal government. She has been involved in working with mentor protege agreements when they go awry. She has just, like I said, I'm trying to imagine what she hasn't done. You've seen her at our Mix and Mingles. Besides that, she's a very formidable attorney and expert in minority business development, as well as other things. And so she does have quite a list here, and you could read it. But what you should know is that Anita is smart, she's accessible, she's available, and her heart drives her to be in the right place. So thank you, Anita, for joining us today with your team.
And I can vouch, I've worked with Anita on and off for many years. It's great to work with.
Well, after that, I'm so flattered. Let me just say, it's great to be here. Greetings, everyone. I am delighted to be here with my colleague, Dragomir Svetinov, who will be also speaking with me. So we are both giving this presentation together. Okay, so I'd like to welcome each of you to the August CBA SBDI monthly small business membership meeting. We would also like to acknowledge and salute all Black-owned businesses as the nation celebrates National Black Business Month in August. Black business owners, as many of you know, represent about 10% of all businesses nationwide and about 30% of all minority-owned businesses, which according to the U.S. Census Bureau amounts to approximately 2 million companies. So my law firm, Quinteros, Prieto, Wood & Boyer, which is the largest minority-owned law firm in the nation, we're proud to support the Black business community, as well as the Chatham Business Association, under the dynamic leadership of my friend Melinda Kelly and its board. Dragomir and I are delighted to join Melinda today to chat with you about government contracting. And when we take questions, I hope my friend Sandy jumps in, because she happens to be one of the kind of foremost respected, distinguished advocates for minorities and women, along with Melinda Kelly and others. So hello, Sandy. All right, so we hope that you won't be disappointed with the information that we provide, because our intent is for it to help you achieve your business goals. As you know, the Chatham Business Association is one of the city's top resource centers for small minority businesses. It is one of the most effective governmental assist agency for Black-owned, minority, and large corporations. And I'm honored to join Melinda and the CBA, as well as each of you, in your continued efforts to facilitate business opportunities and resources to small minority businesses. Some of you may not know this, but my support of the CBA and other business organizations in Chicago started many years ago when I was the Director of Certification and Contract Compliance for Mayor Harold Washington. And I know I'm aging myself, but at that time, I facilitated the partnerships that the city had with local business organizations throughout the city to promote minorities and women. I'm delighted to continue this important work to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion as a practicing attorney with the CBA and other small business organizations. And although progress, as we know, has been made from when I worked for Harold Washington, my services and the services of many of you on this Zoom meeting continue to be desperately needed by small businesses, particularly during these challenging times. So I have had the honor of representing government contractors, subcontractors, and government agencies for over 30 years. And so I can tell you from firsthand experience that government contracting is highly regulated, very challenging and risky, and often very frustrating to government contractors and subcontractors. However, if you do it right, it can be very lucrative. So our presentation today will focus on successful government contracting business strategies. Recognizing there are many good business strategies, we will briefly discuss our top 5 for now, which may be most helpful as you seek to kind of recuperate from the devastating impact that the pandemic may have had on your business. Number 1, you need to have, and I say number 1, this is just number 1 in the discussion. It's not number 1 in terms of priority. Like I said, we're going to discuss 5 and they're not necessarily in order of priority. But the first one that I'd like to discuss is code of conduct. You need a code of conduct. I don't need to tell any of you that these are, again, challenging times for our country and business community, particularly our minority business enterprises and women business enterprises. We need more companies and agencies that are truly committed to diversity, like the Chatham Business Association and its board and corporate members. We need more companies and agencies with good MBE, WBE programs that have effective compliance policies and procedures. And we need more companies and agencies that are committed to the highest standards of trust, ethics, and responsibility by all of their employees and vendors. My first tip is primarily for the corporate members of the CBA, as opposed to the minority businesses. In order to help your employees and vendors, including minority businesses, to make decisions that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion and influence your chances of success in diverse communities, you should have a good code of conduct that is current. So what is a code of conduct? A code of conduct reflects a company's commitment to right professional and business standards and right conduct by their employees and vendors, and particularly right conduct employees by the large vendors who are expected to be inclusive on their team with minority businesses. It is the central guide regarding your core values, vision, and standards of conduct to ensure that all of your employees and vendors, regardless of their race, gender, religious beliefs, or political affiliations, perform their work and conduct with honesty, integrity, and fairness. A code of conduct is intended to help your employees, vendors, and other stakeholders to learn or better understand the legal and ethical policies that govern their decision-making on a daily basis. It is also intended to help your employees and vendors from violating government laws and company policies by providing them with a clear list of actions that are appropriate and expected of them. Some of the topics that should be included in your code of conduct would include ethical principles, core values, and standards of conduct, harassment, conflicts of interest and appearance of impropriety, political activities, charitable activities, health and safety, and of course, last but not least, diversity programs and policies. All of this should be included in a good and current code of conduct. This code will help your business to foster an environment of trust and ethical behavior, as well as stimulate greater diversity and inclusion in your procurement decisions. Number 2, if your business is minority owned and controlled, you should get certified. And I probably don't have to tell most of you on this on this call that, because you already are certified. And if you are, you should consider expanding your certification specialty areas so you can qualify for more contract opportunities as a minority or woman business. As you know, only certified businesses can fulfill a DBE, MBE, or WBE contract participation goal on a government contract in their designated specialty areas. When you get certified, make sure that you apply for recertification a few months before your certification expires. You are not certified for life. When you apply for recertification, certifying agencies will scrutinize changes in your company's ownership, control, and operations to determine whether you should be recertified. During these challenging times, many certified businesses are seeking to establish strategic alliances and teaming relationships with majority-owned firms or larger businesses. When you form a strategic alliance or teaming relationship with a majority-owned company, you must continue as an MBE to operate as an independent business. Your viability as a business cannot depend on the resources that you receive from your prime contractor or strategic partner if that partner is a non-minority business. Government agencies will look at several factors when evaluating your company's independence, including they will look at your personnel, facilities, equipment, finances, and bonding where applicable, as well as your insurance. Companies, agencies will also evaluate your current and prior employment relationships. If your business is not operating independently, it will not be recertified, or it could possibly be decertified prior to your reapplication for recertification. My law firm has launched a small business certification initiative in Illinois and Georgia to help our clients to better understand certification eligibility requirements, to help them structure acceptable legal relationships with their non-minority partners, and to help them navigate. Excuse me, let me turn off my phone. Sorry about that. And this initiative will help our clients to better understand certification eligibility requirements, to help them structure acceptable legal relationships with their non-minority partners, and to help them navigate the application process and get certified on an expedited basis. My colleague Dragomir will now discuss our next two recommended government contracting business strategies. Dragomir?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dragomir Svetanov. I'm an associate at Quinteros, Prieto, Wood & Boyer. I work very closely with Anita. I'm going to discuss the next two of our strategies. Our third recommendation is, if you want to be more competitive in the government bidding process, you should consider forming strategic alliances or teaming relationships with other businesses. An increasing number of contractors and consultants are joining forces through teaming relationships to more effectively deliver innovative products and services to their customers and clients. Many small and minority businesses are forming partnerships or other types of contracting relationships with other businesses in order to survive and grow during this pandemic. If you can find the right teaming partner, this can be a great idea. So what is a teaming relationship? A teaming relationship is a strategic alliance between two or more contractors or consultants possessing complementary yet distinct skills and resources to provide a customer or client with an integrated plan to deliver products and services. The three most common types of teaming relationships are contractor-subcontractor relationships, joint ventures, and mentor-protege relationships. Some agencies will give additional credit to a bidder if it is in an approved mentor-protege relationship. If bids are close in price, a teaming relationship could have the competitive edge and win the contract. Teaming relationships are usually formed prior to the submission of a bid or proposal, and one bidder is often small and or a minority business. All parties can benefit from a good teaming relationship and from having a good teaming agreement that minimizes the company's overall exposure and potential liabilities. For example, a teaming relationship allows a small or minority business to maximize its skills, resources, and capabilities to be able to secure contract or subcontract opportunities that it otherwise may not be able to obtain. Teaming relationships offer the opportunity for small and minority businesses to fill in gaps in its past performance, build its capacity and credibility, and to demonstrate its proficiency in a particular trade or service. Similarly, a teaming relationship benefits the customer or client by reducing its administrative burden, the administrative burden of contracting with multiple parties, by increasing innovation and by increasing opportunities for minority business participation. Teaming relationships can confer a host of benefits to the companies that enter into them. In one instance, we have assisted a construction company and a trucking company enter into and operate under a mentor-protege agreement with a local government agency, which not only helped the subcontractor build their capacity, but also gave the prime contractor additional credit towards their MBE goal. Overall, the subcontractor was able to shadow the prime contractor on day-to-day operations. The relationship helped to develop the mentees' management and technical assistance, financial assistance, business development assistance, contracting assistance, union education, and general administrative assistance. Additionally, a formal working relationship was established, which showed, among other things, how many loads would be towed by the trucking company and how often the orders for these loads would come in. The prime contractor benefited because they would have already needed a subcontractor. By entering into the agreement, they received additional credit for entering into a subcontracting agreement that they already would have needed to do. Number 4, your bid or proposal must be responsive to the government solicitation requirements. Generally, government agencies award contracts to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, unless they are procuring professional services or procuring from a sole source. A responsible bidder has the capacity to perform the contract requirements. It must have the required experience, personnel, equipment, and finances to perform. Whereas a responsive bidder is one who submits a proposal or a bid that conforms in all material aspects to the solicitation. Very often, low bidders are rejected from receiving contracts because they fail to be responsive. The bid has to include all of the information, all of the required submittal documents and information. The bid cannot take exceptions to the bid requirements. All forms have to be fully completed, including the MBE WBE contract participation forms. The bid must have the required signatures throughout the bid, and the bid must be submitted before the bid date and time at the specified location and submitted in the way that it was requested in the solicitation. If you are the lowest bidder and your bid deviates from the bid solicitation requirements, you could have a serious problem. If the deviation is deemed to be material, you will not be able to cure it and your bid will be rejected. The bid will then be awarded by the agency to the next lowest responsive and responsible bidder. This point cannot be stressed enough. You could write a 500-page bid having spent weeks and perhaps a lot of money and have your bid thrown out without even being reviewed by the agency that you submitted it to. It is crucial to follow the instructions on the bid to the letter and to make sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. And one matter that our firm has recently completed, we were responsible for reviewing all the bids for a massive project that a major government agency had bid out over the past year. In our review of various bids, many bidders were deemed to have been non-responsive due to their failure to comply with the instructions in the bid, such as failure to submit the proper insurance requirements. Perhaps they included a different document showing insurance where a certificate of insurance was asked for, failure to submit proper subcontractor disclosure forms or failure to complete those forms, or failure to sign or initial certain documents, among other deficiencies and discrepancies. It is always important to include what is being asked for and in the manner in which it is being asked. Remember, you should never leave any space blank unless expressly asked to do so. If a portion of the solicitation does not apply to your business, always respond to it with NA for not applicable. Now, Anita will briefly discuss our last tip and give closing remarks.
So number 5, if you are a certified DBE or MBE or WBE that's fulfilling a contract participation goal on a government contract in the construction industry, your business must perform a commercially useful function. And I'm sure Sandy could tell you a lot about that. When performing on government contracts, prime contractors and their certified subcontractors or partners must comply, as I stated earlier, with a number of regulations, policies, and procedures. The policies include what MBE subcontractors must do in order for prime contractors to receive credit for their participation. Certified DBEs, MBEs, and WBEs must perform a commercially useful function, or CUF, on government contracts. This means that they must be responsible for the execution of the work of its contract and for carrying out its responsibilities by actually performing, managing, and supervising the work involved. Government agencies look at 5 areas of operations when evaluating whether a certified business performs a commercially useful function. They look at their management and supervision, equipment, workforce, materials and supplies, and their performance. For example, it is important for you to know that it is illegal for a prime bidder to offer you some money to simply sign government documents indicating that your business will perform on a contract to fulfill a DBE or MBE, WBE participation goal if you have no intentions of actually performing the work. It is illegal for a prime to ask you to sign government documents indicating that your business will perform on a contract and then not allow you to perform after it has been awarded a government contract. It is also illegal for you to participate on a contract as a DBE, MBE, WBE, and then use the workforce, supplies, and equipment of the prime to perform your work. If you find yourself in these situations, you should document your communications with the prime and either report it to the agency or hire a lawyer. If you need help figuring this out, go to the Chatham Business Association, and I'm sure the association will guide you in the right direction. It is the responsibility of primes to ensure that their MBE subcontractors are performing a commercially useful function. So if you are the prime or a general contractor and your certified subcontractors are not performing a commercially useful function, you may not receive credit for their performance, which could result in your non-compliance to the DBE, MBE, WBE contract participation goal on your contract. Eventually, it could also result in an investigation of your company and severe penalties to all participants, including the certified businesses. And these penalties may include contract termination, suspension, debarment, decertification where applicable, fines or liquidated damages, as well as it could lead to a criminal investigation and prosecution. On behalf of my law firm, Quinteros, Prieto, Wood & Boyer, we would like to close now by congratulating Melinda Kelly and the Chatham Business Association on their strong, effective advocacy for local small businesses. Dragomir and I have immensely enjoyed working with Melinda. Melinda is smart, she's assertive, she is knowledgeable, she's committed to small business community, and all of you on this call and who are not on this call, who are affiliated with this association, could not have a better leader or advocate to help you be successful. I commend the CBA and its corporate members on their leadership in promoting diversity, equity, and the inclusion, and their important work to facilitate the development, growth, and success of minority businesses, and particularly Black-owned businesses. During these challenging times, now more than ever, we all need to remain united and committed to supporting our minority business community in whatever way that we can. And if you are a minority or woman-owned business, we strongly encourage you to reach out to the CBA and utilize its extensive resources including our law firm, when you need support, assistance, and guidance. We would like to help you to achieve your government contracting goals in 2021 and for many years to come. We hope that each of you benefit from the information that we have provided today. Thank you. We'll now answer your questions.
Thank you, Anita, for that. You know, this is so timely. We have to remember there's an infrastructure bill coming that is really knocking at our doors, where there will be a lot of funding and opportunities and contract opportunities. That's not including with the existing agencies like CPS and CDOT, the opportunities that are there. Teaming agreements, joint ventures are really important, but one of the most things that you need to glean from this conversation also is that preparing to submit, which we all know takes money and energy, get some extra eyes on there. I can't tell you how many times where as part of the process, one schedule that maybe was not signed or not fulfilled properly has led us to negative activities. And negative activities is when a contractor isn't being paid or thinks he's expected to be paid or is part of a team, but really not having any commercial use. So we encourage you to please engage CBA, but really Anita is a trusted partner in her firm. I'm going to ask and recommend that as these dollars get serious, and billions of dollars are like power, nobody's going to give them to us. We're going to have to take them. And you're going to need some legal help and advice to do that. To use this law firm who is committed to helping us engage in the billions of dollars that's coming our way. I am going to start off with a question though for Dragomir and Anita in terms of, we talk about teaming agreements and you hear joint ventures and those terms thrown around, and that's really important as these levels of opportunity are really high and the gaps are high in us achieving them. Is there a difference between teaming agreement or nuances that we as business owners should be aware of?
Can you go into more detail about the differences? So I kind of spoke about 3 different type of teaming agreements. So we talked about the mentor protege agreement. We talked about joint ventures where 2 businesses will collectively get together in order to fulfill some bid requirements. Is there any specific kind of the agreement that you wanted to talk more about?
Well, I do notice, and that, like, for instance, I think with IDOT, you don't have to have a formal teaming agreement, and then some agencies require that you do. So, but I guess what I can say is that whether it's a teaming agreement or not, we need to just research what the agency approves as teaming or joint ventures and follow their guidelines, maybe.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, Anita, what were you
No,
going
go
to say?
ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to also recommend, in practically any kind of business that you're ever doing, having an actual formal agreement in place can usually be more helpful than harmful. A lot of times you don't want to be, overly formal or make the relationship overly formal, but it's just best business practice to always have your agreement kind of formally written out and codified rather than kind of letting it go informally.
And then I just want to say something. Go ahead.
I would like to
Sandy.
jump out for a minute because I have to leave in a couple moments. I'm really glad that you're covering this because I do cover oversight. I'm the person that comes out with a clipboard on projects, and these teaming agreements are the concept is wonderful, but you need to make sure that you know what you're doing. You need to really be assessed legally, because in government contracting, I'm not talking about private, when a person such as myself comes out to review it, you must still be fulfilling this commercially useful function. Sometimes contractors do not take this as seriously as they should. And when the oversight, the compliance person comes out, there are sometimes problems with the way they're structured or sharing resources and things like that. you really must take the time and the trouble to seek legal assessment from people such as Anita's team right here, because on the back end, it might not be very pretty.
Yes.
So really, this assessment is extremely important to make sure that your teaming agreement, it may sound good to you, that's what's being proposed, but it's got to pass the smell test, honest to God. And I'm sorry that I have to go somewhere else, but I'm really glad that this is being covered, because I'm doing oversight right now on a project where there are some questions. And if they had gotten the proper, not just any lawyer,
Right.
you must deal with a legal team that works with these programs, because a lawyer could give you any type of advice and guess at this, but this is really very specialized. This is getting into the weeds. And I have to depart, so thank you for the opportunity. Your meetings are
Sandy.
always worthy of people's time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy. I couldn't have said it better than Sandy, who is, as I stated, one of the most knowledgeable persons in this town regarding these types of issues. And I know Sandy is a consultant and can also provide you some guidance on this if you should need it. I just want to reiterate what Dragomir indicated, and also to go back to Melinda's question. There are different types of teaming, legal types of teaming relationships. So a teaming relationship basically is when you have two or more firms that basically team up together for a particular purpose or for a length of time. And so there are different ways legally to structure that relationship. They can structure it as a contractor-subcontractor relationship. They can structure it as a joint venture relationship. And in doing that, or they can structure it as a mentor-protege type of relationship. So each of those legal relationships have legal obligations and legal risk and legal consequences if all parties do not kind of fulfill their role. And so that's where we lawyers kind of come in to explain to you in greater detail what the difference is and what may be the best type of legal relationship for you. And then we'll make those recommendations. And if you should agree, as Dragomir indicated, we always would recommend that you put it in writing, because sometimes people tend to have amnesia later, particularly the folks who might be paying you. And so you want to make sure you have everything in writing indicating what it is that not only that you agree to do, but that they agree to do, because you don't want to be accused of breach of contract and then give someone a reason to not pay you the money that you feel that you are owed, or the money that they agreed verbally to pay you. So you want to put it in writing so that you have the support that you need, if you need it, to collect from whoever may owe you money, or to basically enforce the agreement in other ways that you may have agreed to. So anyway, I hope that answers your question, Melinda.
It does, and we may have to, I may have to reach out to you and see, maybe we should do a teaming agreement and joint venture presentation in addition to the other talents that you have. One of the things you'll find as a member working with Anita and her team, they're very patient, and they understand that while this is very convoluted, they will repeat and work with you and your business to bring you up to speed so that you are really agreeing to what is being done on behalf, versus sometimes it appears people are entered into contracts and they don't totally understand that. So we really appreciate that about your law firm. And thank you for extending this courtesy to us as well. There's a couple of things too I wanted you to talk on if you can.
Sure.
That I thought was important, and that was this code of conduct. I know that one of the things you were very instrumental at the airport that has resulted in a lot of minority participation, but before the participation began, it really sort of began with you coming in and as a professional, and you talked about this code of conduct for corporate businesses as well as large agencies, but it sounds like it might be a good thing for us as small businesses too, so that we don't have to take case by case. We can agree on what it is, on what it is, and let that be our Bible. That frees us up for operations in these other processes. But anything you could share about that more?
Sure. So Melinda, you're absolutely correct that the code of conduct is not just for large businesses and governmental agencies. It's very common with large businesses, and I'm sure the ones that are represented now in this meeting can tell you that their corporation does have a code of conduct. And I would say to you that that code of conduct should be reviewed regularly and updated to make sure that you're accomplishing your goals, whether the goals are, and particularly the goals with respect to diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, if your goal is to support the minority business community, then you need to make sure that you have tools in place at your corporation to do that. And one of those many tools would be to make it clear to your employees that this is important to the corporation. So I would recommend that's included in a code of conduct. And then with respect to governmental agencies, is you know, some governmental agencies have a code of conduct, like the City of Chicago, which is very brief. And then some agencies have decided to have their own code of conduct, such as the City of Chicago Department of Aviation, Jamie Rhee. I would like to commend her for having her own departmental code of conduct, which is very extensive, which is very clear, and it talks about the different topics that I indicated should be in a code of conduct, such as ethical principles, core values, standards of conduct. It talks about harassment, conflicts of interest, appearance of impropriety. It talks about political activities, charitable activities, health and safety. And so I'm not kind of telling you anything that she wouldn't tell you. The code of conduct, I believe, is publicly available, and she has talked about it on several occasions. And she has, I think, been perhaps at the top of all of this, you know, all of these issues from a governmental perspective, since these code of conducts are more popular in the private sector. And then, as Melinda indicated, in terms of small businesses, I agree with Melinda. I think you too should have a code of conduct for your own employees, because again, it's basically guidelines, and it will help you make sure that your employees stay on the same page that you are on with respect to your legal and ethical policies. You know, it may not necessarily, you know, and the only reason I didn't mention minority businesses earlier is because of the fact that minority businesses may not want to spend the money to have one, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to have one, quite frankly. You can have something that may not necessarily be as, let's just say, extensive as the City of Chicago Department of Aviation, but you could have something that is tailored to your business, just so that your employees know what your kind of ethical principles are, what your core values are as a business, and so that they can adhere to them at all times. So that's what I would say, Melinda.
And I'm going to, Carletta, I asked, we have another speaker? Do we have another one?
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to send you a message.
Okay.
No.
Just want to make sure before I kept. The other thing, Anita, I just wanted to, first of all, let me let the membership know. If you haven't heard, you know, the disparity study is out. Colette Holt has made presentations. We're having a smaller meeting on the disparity study results August 17th. That is the CBA meeting. If you want to join us for the smaller group meeting as we raise questions and answers about the disparity study, let Beverly know, and I will make sure that you are included in our conversations. I will share with you some of the concerns we have raised as a result of the disparity study. But I say all that because there's two things. As you know, Chatham Business Association, as well as other organizations, do certifications. MBE, we do things at the airport, but what I would say is that sometimes we will refer you to Anita, because what we don't want to do is prepare a certification that we're not crystal clear you're going to be successful on. And then you get to the other end and you're either denied or debarred, or we run into some problems. So we are very good at what we do, but we do know when to seek guidance for you. And at that point, if we're referring you to her, we recommend that you give her a call. It doesn't mean we won't start it or we won't take a look at it. And we will also, we have no problem with sharing information or calling Anita and telling her, as well as you will know, sort of why we're recommending that she take a second look, a second set of look at before we submit. Because as you know, our process is we get everything together, right? We want the documents, we want it in a binder, we want it on a USB drive. So you have it, so we have it. So once we sit down to actually load it up, it should take us no more than 30 minutes. But sometimes when we're making certifications or things like that, we may refer you to Anita, especially as I mentioned, with the things coming down the pipeline. But I say all that to say, Anita, can I put you on the spot and see if you've had a chance to be a part of any other presentations for the disparity study, and any thoughts you can share on the results of it? And you're always welcome to join us too on the 17th.
Okay, no, I haven't been involved with the disparity study, so there's nothing I can share with the group about it.
Okay, well then I will send that to you. And if you're available on the 17th, feel free.
Okay, sure.
I should also let you know, yesterday, we've been involved in quite a few meetings. I mentioned before, Anita and her team have helped us on the SBA side as we have began the process of advocating to increase the size standards and personal net worth for DBE businesses. But we also have been engaged in conversations with Congressman Davis, Dick Durbin, Congresswoman Kelly, Congressman Rush. We also met over at House of Hope with the faith-based group, as well as with Howard Brookins and Alderman Bill, because they're over at some of these, the Transportation Committee. You know, we got the CREATE project. We're talking about this infrastructure bill. We're talking about how do we as Blacks, or representing Black businesses for the most part, put some teeth to a executive order that President Biden put through, a racial equity order, as this infrastructure bill comes down the pipeline. So yesterday we met with business leaderships from Chicago Urban League, Business Leadership Council, Chatham Business Association, BCU, Larry Bullock and his group, BCO, as we really are trying to work on behalf of all of our members to begin how are we going to take advantage of this infrastructure bill? How are we going to participate? One of the mechanisms I think that you heard about today is between a teaming agreement and joint ventures, but the reality of it is there's a few things we have a lot of work to do, and we are going to have to be really diligent as not only as leading organizations working collaboratively, but also as you as business owners in terms of what we need to do to get you prepared to participate. We have a challenge in front of us. I mean, it keeps us up at night from Ty to all of us in terms of the talent and pushing it to the top, because even though you're certified, their certification is one thing, but capacity to perform is another process. So I just really wanted you to know that we are working diligently on your behalf as the organization to make sure we do everything in our power to begin advocating. We are going to have to, the meeting with Durbin and the group, we have asked that they bring all the unions, bring Hire 360. We want to talk specifically how the business community is going to work with the union, with these organized. If there's any means that we can explore for non-union businesses to participate, what that should look like, how it should be, PLA agreements. We are putting it all on the table. We are also asking our federal government to let us, our federal representatives, our Black elected officials, to help us look at the legislation, the actual language. That's another expertise Anita has that I will probably be pulling on her tail. Pulling her ear to take a look at the language, because the procurement language affects our ability to participate. So I just really did want you to know that we're, anything as it comes up, you're hearing it in the news. Time is not necessarily on our side, but it's just not the infrastructure bill. It's not letting any opportunity pass to look in terms of what is available to the business community. We want to make sure we engage our attorneys, our accountants, and we want them to get credit for it. Sometimes they're not necessarily invited as part of an incentive, but we need the business community to engage them. So I just wanted to make sure I updated you on that is what we're doing as part of an organization. We are getting back to business. We will be meeting at the Discover Center thanks to negotiations with Carletta and Jennifer in the Discover Center. We're going to move our membership meetings there. So we're excited to do that probably towards the beginning of the new year. We encourage you all to please continue your membership, continue your business and growth strategies. If you find yourself, as Anita mentioned, in any uncomfortable situation, if someone's asked you to sign something and the document is blank, it's not completely, Dragomir said, you put in but any documents being presented to you by primes or other should also be fully completed before you sign. And if not, feel free to engage us, because we recognize Chatham Business Association. We recognize sometimes those conversations are not comfortable, and we don't want to impede your ability to get a contract or to get profits, or to, and we can help you manage that relationship. So having said that, it's 10:13. Am I missing any announcements, or is there anyone who didn't get a chance to introduce themselves or wanted to say something to Anita and the team?
Yeah, we had a few members that that came in. I had invited Felicia from Nipsey's
great.
restaurant.
Are you on?
Is she on? Yeah, Felicia, did you get a chance?
Hello. Can you hear me? Yes, introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, I'm actually getting my tires done. I'm multitasking right now. But yes, my name is Felicia, and I am one of the owners, investors at Mitzi's Restaurant and Lounge. And this is my first meeting with you guys, so thank you so much for having us.
No, thank you for coming.
And Tim is on the line too. Our old member, Quentin.
Quentin?
You didn't introduce yourself in front of you.
I also see there's a Curtis Thompson.
Frida.
Okay. Whew. And yes, I'm Frida Madison, owner of Madison Enterprises Incorporated, with my husband, and I'm at the auto dealer shop too, getting a car repaired. So sorry about that noise. Thank you.
No, just thank you for joining us.
Okay.
Curtis?
Yeah, good morning. Hey, everyone. Curtis Thompson, president of the LT Group, and also president of the Chicago chapter of the National Association of Minority Contractors. Thank you for that excellent presentation this morning, Melinda. Great job. It was a great presentation, good information. Just glad to be on this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Tiffany, did you say hi this morning?
So sorry, I was multitasking as well. Tiffany Smith, Neighborhood Housing Services, your neighbor at 87th Street. So super excited to hear about the meetings being in person again closer to the new year at the Discover Center, which is right across the street from our office at Seaway Self-Help. So glad to be here. And yes, valuable information. Really appreciate that information, Melinda. Okay.
Robert, did you introduce yourself? You're on mute. Still on mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, I'm Robert Jones. I'm new to the organization. You know, I'm getting into the, learn the organization. It was very informative, the meeting today. And I have a friend, Gloria Leggett, on the line. Then I believe Noreen Abdullah is on the line, but we're venturing into opening a coffee shop on 87th in Bennett.
Great.
And I look forward to working with you all for the legal help or whatever I need to get it off the ground. I appreciate that.
Yeah, one of the things we, especially with the new businesses as an NOF, we're encouraging all the businesses, before you sign lease agreements, let's look at those commercial leases. We're running into zoning issues in terms of businesses are allowing people to enter into leases only to find out they can't operate their business there. So
Okay.
what we do recognize is very valuable to have good, trusted legal advice. I believe Anita put her contact information, or Dragomir, somebody put it in, but if not, we can get it to you from the office as well.
Okay, and I look forward to, I believe we're gonna have a meeting amongst us today or tomorrow with you guys.
That's today, Mr. Jones.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that also.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
There's a Mr. Singh on. Did you introduce yourself? I don't think we met you.
No, I haven't. Thank you so much, Belinda and Carlita, for having me. I'm from Agile End-to-End, and we specialize in Agile rollout. Improving business agility for companies. So Agile is a new project management technique, which is very, very popular, not only in the private sector, but across the government sectors as well. Carlita, I asked you the information for the head of diversity Discovered, because they're using Agile transformation in a big way, and we could be a great value add for them. So thank you for having me here. And it was such a valuable information, and you keep it so exciting and full of energy. Thank you so much, Melinda and Carlita.
Thank you for joining us. I see, is this Frush, F-R-U-S-H? Hello? Hi.
Yes, good morning. My name is Flynn Rush, and I'm the business service consultant for KRA Westside American Job Center. We're a National Workforce Development Corporation, and we work in collaboration with Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, as well as the new Chatham Education Job Center on 79th Street. And we help area residents get careers, jobs, and specialized training. And so glad to be on this informative session this morning and getting more information. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. You know, one of the challenges that the businesses have is the workforce. We all have to figure out what the new normal for the workforce will be when we, as you know, we have a program where we are getting folks ready during COVID, and thanks to ComEd and AT&T, not only are we able to give them transferable skills and pay them while they're getting the skills. When we surveyed our over 3,000 database folks, one of the things that people want is flexibility in time. So as employers and as business owners, you know, that puts us to work. Not only do we have to keep people safe, hopefully get them vaccinated, but also it is not the hire on bonus or the add-on bonus, and some of the survey shows not even the rate of pay. I think we're going to have to really make sure that we are intentional and being able to afford healthcare, which gets back to us affording to participate in better contracts. One of the things we really ask the businesses to do is bring in your expenses. Let's bring in your growth plan and your balance statement. We have great accountants from Mr. Hughes and others who we know what you're making. We could look at the expenses, and then let's figure out on a contractual level, what should we do to make sure that that negative number is covered and that you make a profit while you can have these valuable services for employees, and while we figure out how we get people back in the workspace in a meaningful way. So there's a lot of work to do, and we understand that, and that's why we're so glad to have partners like Anita and others that we trust, that we know we can refer you to, and you can work and you can trust them as well. I see also we have Lorinda, our staff member, she joined on, so say hello to her. And I'm trying to see the other folks to make sure if there's any other business that did not introduce themselves, I would really like for them to take this time to say hello to Anita and the team and say what you do. Did I miss anybody? I see phone numbers on here.
Yeah, the one ending in 906 came in during the meeting. Did you want to say?
Okay. So one of the things I hope you noticed in the chat, Anita Ponder and her team said their initial legal consultation will be free to CBA members. So we hope you take advantage of that, as well as you noticed AGB was on a couple of months ago, as you saw in the minutes. They offered to do a initial free consultation on cybersecurity so you can protect your business. All of these things are important. We please hope you take advantage of it, because if you don't, I will be bugging her to take advantage of it for you. So again, I think without any further ado or any announcements, Anita and Dragomir, I cannot thank you enough for the hours and valuable time that you have provided to CBA. We appreciate your friendship, your partnership, and your professionalism in dealing with us and our memberships. Do you want to say anything?
Thank you so much, Wanda. I'm sorry?
I was gonna say, did you and Anita want to say anything?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you again, Melinda, for inviting us to this meeting. We were happy to share the information that we did. We hope it's helpful to each of you. And if we can be of any assistance to any of you, don't hesitate to give us a call. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anita, I'm gonna make that connection today for our friends at AAA BNA who were at the meeting yesterday. I did tell them about you. So I'm gonna
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you all for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again. And again, if you want to join us about the disparity study, Ty, you're welcome too. I know you already had the conversation, but you know, we're meeting with Colette, Department of Procurement, and the Law Department about some of the results from that disparity study.
Awesome. We're in CPS. We're in the middle of ours now. We're coming up to the end because we have to supply a lot of documents to Ms. Holt and her associates. But also, I put our information in the chat. Thanks to some of your members been emailing me throughout the meeting, letting me know of my procurement opportunities. So yay, have meetings with them after this. But just want to really just hit on that my general contracting services, basically our construction RFP just hit the streets. So please, if anyone knows of any construction business, let them know that CPS RFP is out in the street. I tried to get it extended over 6 weeks. They was like, no, look, girl, no, they're not about to do that. So I only got it out in the street for 4 weeks, but this is a hot button item. And now CPS, finally, we're listening to individuals and knowing that we have to tier people like your KR Millers and your Walshes. Of course, they're going out and they can handle a lot of our bigger jobs. So now our construction jobs will be tiered. So anybody that's $1 million and under, they will be in a particular pool, and then people that's higher, they'll be in theirs. Also, food service management that hit the street last night. I was on, it's a black bread company that's here in Flossmoor. So I was on the phone with the owner. I have no idea what time I went to sleep, but just letting him know, yes, this CPS, we're huge, but I need you to apply for this particular solicitation. So I have a meeting with him at 11 o'clock just to walk him through the whole process, because that literally hit the street last night. And then my various trades, that one, I thought I was going to hit the street this week. Today is only Tuesday, so hopefully before the end of this week, that will be out there. And then our technology services, whenever I'm on a third supplemental, that means whatever we're looking for, we can't find it. So please find an individual. If you know someone that can do educational technology, that's on the street. It closes in 22 days. And then, you know, any nursing organizations that can help with classroom assistance, basically helping with the children, with our special needs kids. I have an RFP, I have a pre-submittal about that. So I'll put our information, www.cps.edu/procurement. You can look for upcoming opportunities, and all the information I just said is out there. I just implore people, just visit it on a daily basis, because things do change by the moment. So thank you again, Chatham Business Association, for allowing that partnership with CPS. And Melinda, of course, you know I'm gonna be calling you because I need our African-American people to, African-American, Hispanic, and Asian. That's what we look for in our disparity service study to apply for our solicitations.
We will do. Thank you for being here and sharing that with us, and always picking up the phone with the businesses when they have questions. We appreciate it.
And also, I just want to encourage everyone, it's just your first time, please register to get our notifications. If you haven't registered for this meeting, please do that at our website at cbaworks.org. And make sure you get our notices for more great information.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna email you right quick. Did you know that LG is having a women and minority and contracting workshop on this Thursday?
No, send it to me.
Okay, I'm sending it to you guys now. It was in my email. That's why I got on to tell you. Okay, that's it.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Gwen, I think you had to take another call, so I think I'm going to conclude the meeting on her behalf. Thank you, Chatham Business Association Board of Directors. Without you, I don't know what we would do. So we appreciate your support. Bye, Anita. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye, thank you.